12-foot image of me, that was kind of a surprise.
Oh yeah, it's a huge panel with
This
your face
guy
on.
deserves a tremendous amount of credit for the artistic work he and his staff did. So,
Give it up.
it was so much fun to work with them. I think they did a good job. It was beautiful.
It was
right?
beautiful.
I mean, the cinematography was just beautiful.
Thank you. Some of my crew, and they're here tonight. Can't say enough thanks to the crew, obviously. But you know what, just to hit this thing off running is when Don Godish, who's the executive producer, came to me and said, hey, would you like to take on this very challenging thing? I was like, absolutely. But the first meeting we had, I knew right away this was not a food show. This was a buddy show.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as we could kind of get into the stories of you having more of a real relationship, the better. So
I agree.
Great show, but it couldn't have been great without these two guys.
Well, and that's what makes it so unique with that authenticity. Like, y'all have a real friendship. And it comes through on screen, it comes through in person. Can't y'all tell? Yeah. We know you have a background, J.A., in food.
What does that mean? Oh, background.
Look, he's listening so hard. Yeah. We know you have a background in food, so I know, especially with the backstory of your sister. Tell us a little bit more about why why you're so passionate about this.
Well, for me, number one, thank y'all all for coming. It means so much to me to see so many beautiful people in the audience. Especially, I got to give a special love to my mom, Ernestine Moore. But for me, the way my mom and dad raised me, we were very community, politically engaged and involved for a long time. And when I went off to school, I kind of thought I was going to get away from that. So I'm going to be a chef, move to New York, and not look back. But I fell in love with Charleston, fell in love with the concept of, like, through the food and beverage industry, you could make real connections with people. From the dishwasher who may have had a background, maybe his first job, to the hostess who was still in high school, to the career bartender, to all the customers that we served. I mean, it was like it was a community, and you had to navigate that community. And so when I got into politics shortly after my sister was murdered, I wanted to bring that same experience of how you connect community in a real way. And so after I got elected, because people would always ask me, man, it's a big difference, politics and even the restaurant industry. And I said, no, it was the connectivity of it all. And so I always had this idea, how do you combine food and politics? Thought it was going to be a panel discussion. It came through so many iterations, and I thought it needed to be something episodic, because so many stories to be told. And I knew I needed someone that had a diverse opinion. And I talked to a few people, and I mentioned it to Jeff, and his eyes lit up. And he immediately started showing me food and the bowl.
The peach cobbler.
Everything.
Y'all
the
didn't bring me
fish,
any.
And
I think a lot of them have seen it too.
yeah, he's gonna show those pictures, y'all. And immediately I knew it was something special. Immediately. And it's been a journey. But I'm excited to kind of share, my experiences with food and how it can connect people. We don't have to agree, but I think if you have a meal with a person, if you have a drink with a person, you can connect. And it brings back the human side of us. And I think in politics too often we miss that. And we forget we otherize each other. We're all, at the end of the day, humans, we're Americans. And I hope that's what was conveyed with the show.
Oh, absolutely. And as we're talking about comfort food and emotions and everything that's conveyed during the show, that peach cobbler. And the
That's
cabbage.
probably how I'm going to be remembered in life.
Well, I say that because, in the South, you have all these comfort foods, right? You have all of these things that, when you eat it, you just feel some type of way. So as you were building the show and the ideas and all the things, what was important to you to stay authentic to food and to that connection?
To stay authentic to the food.
Yeah,
Well,
bringing
I mean,
people together.
when I cook, I want it to look good and I want it to taste good.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's what I'm always focused on. And that if I can do that every time I stand in front of a stove, then I'm staying authentic to the food. That's my goal. Because look, I mean, it's like J.A. was saying, you share food with people around a table, and when you put it on the table, you want it to be attractive,
Special.
and good, because I love to see people eat it. I mean, I love cooking it because when you give it to other people and they eat it and enjoy it, there's some reward to the cook or the chef for having done so. So there's some weird thing about nourishing the people you care about and that sort of stuff.
Amen to that. So, Keith, I want to hear more from you about this because, you know, all of us up here love food. We've already talked about that. But what was your connection to why this was so important for you?
I think really it came back to the first time we met, because I was still being kind of figured out, you know, could I do it? And I think technically, I think a lot of people said, yeah, this guy can do that, but it's working with two elected officials who are potentially, unless you know them, they're potentially sometimes diametrically opposed. And the first meeting, I knew that was not the case. And so the reason that I was so interested in going into this endeavor with these guys is that even that first meeting, we all kind of like weirdly gelled, and I got how passionate they were. And I knew that if I got them in front of a camera and could bring out the buddy side, the cooking would be fun, but that would be the side dish, if you will. That their relationship, yeah, I know, pun intended, but their relationship, and the fact that, you know, many people would love to see bipartisan. You know, I mean, it's one of those things that people would love to see more of that, and it was just, it's natural with these guys.
Right.
So.
And you said something that I think was really important. It's natural. Not many people can go from shrimp to such an emotional conversation and it end in a positive way. So I commend both of you. See, look at the dap. I love it because we all know bipartisan conversations can be difficult. I'm not the biggest fan of politics. No.
No.
I'm not the biggest fan of politics, but you all make it easy to watch.
I will add one more thing, is that when we were in that first meeting and we were talking about, like, what would we talk about?
Right.
How do we get from food to politics? And then I did not know your story before that, and you let us know. And I was so moved by that, and Jeff in the show actually says it when you ask, how do we let these people know? And Jeff says, we just drive it at them like a freight train. And I knew that right away. You didn't say that then, but I knew that right away. That's how we do this, is we're going to take on the hardest issue that we could, and it would show your relationship not only as friends, but able to problem solvers. And away it is. So, you know, that's...
Well, also the people who've been up here on Capitol Hill for the longest period of time do the same thing.
Yeah.
They just address things straight up front and just talk about it, because there's no other way to do it. You just have to talk about it.
Straight on like a freight train.
Yeah, well, you
Right.
can horse
That's
it
my
around
favorite
a little
line
bit.
of the whole show, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, put down the plate. So, what do you think about gun control? I was like, whoa, Jeff just jumped into it.
How does it work when you go to a dinner party? I mean,
I don't start with that. but I
we had
admire,
a job to do.
and I know, but I admire how you did it and how it transpired and how y'all ended it beautifully. It was
Well, I
lovely.
tell you what, you people that are involved and employed up the road here know that we have disagreements, but in the main, the people really care about each other.
Yeah.
The people in the General Assembly really care about each other. There's a handful that don't put that
The laugh says it all. He's like,
But is that not true?
Yeah, and I think what's been so for me, especially over the past, let's say 8 years or something, even the concept of having a meal with your family and talking about politics becomes difficult.
Right.
Because again, we've otherized so many, with even in our own families, that you can't have civil discourse without it being very negative and nasty. And so
It's just your family, though.
yeah, I mean,
That's just fighting with your family.
yeah, but that is true. But I've seen a difference. Like, I mean, seriously, seen a difference, and you can't disagree with a person, vehemently disagree with them without them. Next thing you know, you're like some, or not even that. Like you're some like anti-human. Like you're just, you know what I mean? Like you're just like this, and I think the show hopefully is entertaining. Hopefully you all get some laughs, but I think for me what's most importantly, hopefully the show reteaches all of us, no matter whether we're young or old, that you can disagree with someone, but they don't have to be your enemy. Right. They can just be someone that has a diverse opinion.
That in America.
Yeah, I mean, we really have, and it may not be, and I'm hoping that the show is entertaining, because also the challenge is like what has caught most people attention lately has been like the discourse, the divisive discourse. So Jeff and I have like a immense responsibility as we move forward to make the show entertaining so people watch it, and we still have a diverse opinion, but we don't have to hate each other.
Right.
So Jeff, we got some work to do. We got to be funny and charming.
But the
And all
beautiful,
of that
All
stuff.
challenges. For
I
you.
know, man.
The thing about it-
gotta figure it out, Jeff.
the beautiful thing about
I'll
it
get
is
an
that
AI to fix
it's educational, which is, of course, we are at SCETV, shameless plug. We're here, and obviously the mission of the station is to educate and amplify and to be able to share all of these things, but you do that in a way that is very human. It's fun to watch. The banter back and forth was just adorable, and it really changed my views on some things as I was listening. So I hope that it did the same for a few of you in the audience as well. But before, because I want to make sure we get on over to the demo too, I want to throw a couple of trivia questions out to you, since we're talking about
Lay it on
food,
us.
for those of you that like food, okay? So I want to know how much you know. J.A., you can't respond right now to this because you probably know all of this, so one second.
I'm in catering mode too about the shrimp being over there.
So, and everybody in the audience, hold your tongue just for a sec. Trivia question number 1. What is the highest number of Michelin stars a restaurant can receive?
5,
Bah. Not quite.
4,
Not quite.
3. That's it. The highest.
The highest
the number
number.
of shrimp you wanted to put on that plate.
Right. Okay. This is an easy one.
Well,
How-
wait a minute. Hold on a second.
He's like, I'm being
How many
attacked
people
right
in
now.
here can eat 12 to 15 ounces of protein in one meeting or one sitting? You can? Okay.
I like my shrimp.
All right.
Thank God I don't have a
There you
shellfish
go.
allergy.
All right.
I think it's half and half, Jeff.
Right. Okay. Here's one for all the Twinkie lovers in the house. What was the original flavor in the Twinkie filling?
I thought it was banana.
What?
I thought it was banana.
What was the original flavor in the
Banana.
Twinkie filling?
Like in the filling, they made it. I thought they made it banana flavor. That's probably wrong.
Cream. I don't know.
Cream. Yes. What flavor?
Vanilla.
Banana.
This is why
Banana.
you guys need to listen to me.
Banana. Okay.
That's obscure.
Cooking techniques.
That's obscure.
Jay, he's probably going to know this one too, but I'm going to say it. You can participate. I'll let you participate now. What cooking technique of submerging food in liquid at a low temperature? What is that technique? It's a cooking technique of submerging food in liquid at a low temperature.
At a low temperature.
Low temperature.
Isn't that called a cocktail?
I'll give you a hint. You do this to eggs.
To eggs. I have no idea.
Poaching.
Poaching.
I listened to your wife.
That was
like,
Jeff's wife
poaching.
dying to say the answer
You
out
said a
there.
low
Correct.
temperature though. I mean,
Low temperature,
But I
yes.
was thinking cold. I was taking you literally.
Not freezing, but low.
Okay.
All right, last one, and then we're going to get over into the demo because I want to see what's happening.
Because
Okay.
we're obviously not any good at this.
Oh, stop it! No, you're doing pretty good. You were close. I'll give you an easy one. Who was the host of the American Travel and Food Show, No Reservations?
Anthony Bourdain.
Bing, bing, bing,
Is that
bing,
right?
bing.
Anthony
Bourdain. The late, great Anthony Bourdain. All right. Not bad.
That was
You
good.
see, J.A. was like, give me something hard. All right, gentlemen. So, are you ready
What do you want to do
show
over
me-
here?
Yeah, let's
Let's
find
do
out.
What are we going to do?
We're going to do a little boom, a little bow.
Let's do it. All right. Be careful of that
Oh,
big-
yeah.
Yeah,
Careful.
watch the.
They all want to be as tall as me.
The
so
apple
they
box
need
is
a-
for little short people like me. So, I'm anxious to see what we are doing here. I heard they were grits. That's what I heard.
How does this
Oh,
work?
here comes the short buddy.
Here we go.
Okay. So,
Oh, look at there.
A little boom, a little bow. Y'all ready?
Did you peel these? 'Cause you made me peel last.
Yeah,
are there?
we had them.
Oh, there's
they got
shrimp.
this. Watch that.
A little bit of shrimp.
Step up.
We're going to cut these tomatoes?
Yeah, so Jeff, you want to cut or saute?
I'll cut.
You'll cut, so we'll get.
Let's move this.
Let's
Spin it over.
bring
You're
it.
not going to put me to work. You see that?
Or no, we are going to put you to work.
Oh, I spoke too soon. Let me roll these sleeves.
All right, so this is like a little dicey dice, smaller dice. We're gonna like
Diced.
yeah.
Ah.
I'm scared to hand this knife to Jeff.
Thank goodness I have some skills in the kitchen, yeah?
So what
Were
we're
you gonna
using,
do this?
what you're gonna help us do is at the end you're gonna be the scooper of the grits.
I'm the sous chef.
The sous chef, the scooper of the grits. We gotta give a shout out. What's the name of the cake? The cake.
You're too much. So, as these gentlemen are preparing this meal, the grits were provided by one of our other catering partners, so we want to thank them. But not everybody can see what we have up here, so let's remind
Right.
them.
I got peppers. I got yellow
we've got
peppers,
these
red
delicious
peppers,
looking jumbo
green peppers.
shrimp.
The jumbo from Charleston. Unfortunately, Captain Don's has closed.
Oh no.
It took so damn long to get on the air.
Right, they were waiting
went
to
out of
say
business.
open, but unfortunately, no. And so this is actually from Family Seafood, but we want to give a special shout out for Captain Don's that we're around for over 40-something years.
Wow.
Do you want this stuff over here?
Yeah, this is it.
So what do you have here?
So
on
we
your
have a
grill?
little bit of garlic. It's like a garlic butter, spicy sauce.
Spicy like me, huh?
Spicy like you sauce.
If I was a sauce, I would be that sauce.
Yeah.
You want some of these?
Oh, I need to put on your. Jeff, you have on my apron.
So, Keith, I want to ask you, as these gentlemen are preparing, what do you love most about them? Like some of the traits off camera that you found that you have really learned to love about them. And gentlemen, you can jump in too. What are some of the things that you enjoy about each other?
J.A.'s punctuality.
Ah!
Oh, man.
What about you?
Like all the people that work at the State House understands exactly what that joke is. My mom is like, I concur.
You know, it always struck me as interesting that working with these guys, the first thing they reminded me of, because I failed to do it correctly, is that they are elected officials, not politicians. I said that in the first meeting. I thought, uh-oh, because they just shot me that look. But I just, you know, it's really cool because like they have that relationship. So as a director, it wasn't hard to get them to actually do what they're doing now, just talking. You know, we just had to provide a lot of technical, you know, we had to put them in situations that help. But, oh yeah, he's flipping it up.
Yeah. Oh, fancy.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes,
Rob
chef.
on!
Lost one.
Yes, chef.
Tell them the story about the the fire alarm going off.
Okay,
or the
yeah.
smoke detector.
While they're entertaining you with the cooking, I'll just entertain you with a quick story. So, in the scene where they're actually in the kitchen cooking, of course, through the magic of television, we're shooting angles that make it look a lot bigger than what it is. And Jeff had the brilliant idea of blackening that fish to the point of where the smoke alarm started to go off. And it didn't just go off once, or twice, or 7 times. And so we had crew, trying to figure out ways to blow it out of there. But they had fun. That's the cool thing. I almost had to stop them from cooking every once in a while to talk. I was like, hey guys, some conversation, please.
They were focused on the food.
They know how to cook.
They do. So
Oh, look there.
I want to know how long. Oh, I
Jeff!
see. It's about to be a
Be
different type
careful!
of cooking show over
We're
here.
rolling on this, right?
So Jeff, how long have you been in the kitchen?
Ann, I'm sorry. Bless her heart, she's heard this so many times. Ann and I have been married for 45 years, and so she has to hear these stories. But when I was a junior in high school, my dad got transferred from Alabama to Oregon, and they had a course out there, which is actually a brilliant course for a young 17, 18-year-old male. They had a course called Bachelor Chef. And I took this course, and I thought I was actually kind of getting out of a math class or something. And I went in, and they made us cook for ourselves. And it was actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. And so I did that for several years. And then we got married and had children. I went to work, and Ann started cooking. So she cooked for 30 years, 40 years.
Oh, wow. That's love right there. So
Yeah, well, did you see that look on her face? Hey, do you want these in there too?
Yeah.
Okay, they're all of it.
So Keith, do you cook as well?
I can, but don't.
Oh.
There's a limitation to what I'm willing to do. My wife cooks fantastic. Our sous chef on the show, Rich Henderson, he was the food wrangler, along with
made my life a lot easier.
Tina Hatch, also out there, did a lot of the food wrangling. They kept everything fresh. They were able to kind of do some stuff off camera to just keep the preparation going. And that's something you just don't know about a lot of cooking shows, is that a lot of stuff has to be prepared
Right.
clearly before it goes on. And so to keep things moving, and because we had fire alarms going off, yeah, we had a bit of fun with that.
Well, it's funny you talk about the fire alarms going off. I enjoy cooking, and I've never made the fire alarm go off, but I will say I've played a chef on television.
You've never really cooked.
No.
That's like,
No.
She cooks
Look.
vegan.
I'm
down in the low country,
I
right?
never have.
No protein.
Down in the low country, the tides go in and out 8 feet every day, twice a day. If you've never run aground in a boat down there, then you've never been out boating. So if you've never really set the smoke alarm
I
off,
haven't.
you're not
Be
cooking.
proud of me.
What do you
You're not.
making?
You're not. Yeah. What are you cooking? Raisin bread. She's cooking raisin bread.
Cooking rape, y'all are awful.
Oatmeal.
But I did play a chef on TV.
Yeah, there you go.
I did play a chef on TV once.
Rice cakes.
Yeah, there you go.
No, but I have really enjoyed food for a long time. My mom is one of the best cooks
Well, I
in the
think
world.
everybody in here's probably enjoyed food for a long time, hasn't
Awful.
I certainly do.
Okay.
How much of this do you need,
How
brother?
many more beef do you need,
How
chef?
many is that?
Yes, chef. Don't y'all love that?
Yes, chef.
Okay, let's that should. We need to.
It's amazing.
Can
Take a
y'all
little
smell
longer to
this?
cook.
It smells incredible.
It does smell good.
I would be one of the chefs that would have all my little fingers burned because I'd be like tasting
We need to get that.
I don't know whether anybody noticed it or not, But my friend Lee is missing his
Which one, brother?
index finger.
let's-
He's been in the kitchen a long time. I think he cut his off one day.
You want to plate them over? Oh, you.
Yeah,
Let's bring the grits down this way.
Yeah, put
Okay.
Here, let's take these off
Okay. Let me put this.
and bring the grits down there to plate.
Oh, we probably ought to start serving those.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do.
We're gonna open up the SCETV kitchen over here.
Start putting the grits ones on here, and we can take them down there and plate them.
Okay.
Does anybody out there have any questions,
So what we'll do, leave them on the tray.
comments?
And
Yes,
then-
ma'am.
Okay.
Careful.
Where's it go to? And so we're gonna do this, and then
Oh,
get
bless your
those.
heart. Thank you. I'm wholly responsible for that. I just so everybody knows. He's extremely difficult to get along with.
The difficult person, J.A. is. Like I'm not ready. Ooh,
That was me.
that was you?
Yep.
We can
The
start passing.
microphone is hungry, that's what it was. It was like, what about me? Yes.
I would like to.
But thank you very much.
How can I get on an episode
Ah,
to sit at the table?
Oh, since we're negotiating, what are you bringing to the table?
Good conversation. Like,
Oh, honey, you gotta do better now.
I'll think about it.
Can you make a good dessert?
Oh yeah.
What kind of dessert? you
Ladies
got?
and gentlemen, Mariah's here! Mariah!
great dessert, huh?
Okay, so dessert. There's a lot of them. I would have to think. So if I bring a great dessert, I can get on an episode.
We could, what do you think? Should we open negotiations? We can do good
Oh, you're negotiating for
Okay,
the
so
two.
here's what we're gonna do. We should do a contest. The best dessert in here is on the next episode.
Oh,
And you have to send in a video. We have to stream it online. We're gonna, that's it. So you'll be the first contestant on the dessert.
Price is Right. Da-na-na.
Right.
There you go.
Any other questions?
You're gonna be competing with my cheesecakes, though.
Yeah,
You're gonna already concede? Oh, that was easy. Yes, ma'am.
How are we getting this out?
She said how many episodes? Is the mic on?
We can.
Hey,
Maybe
Okay,
He's got
what
it.
we,
I would go,
are the,
I'll have some more by the time.
Yeah, I can just move
Stephanie,
them
are you
down.
still in here? Yeah, I see her over there,
go
okay.
ahead and,
We talked originally about doing 3 more shows this year and 6 next year. So we are contemplating on where to do that and under what circumstances, but I'm open to any suggestions if you got some. Don't jump out there with any suggestions too quick, huh?
We had actually discussed at one point, you saw one format, one evolution of what the show could be. You know, the getting the food, cooking it, having a debate. But another thing we thought would be interesting is put these two guys walking around South Carolina food festivals, talking with people about what they're doing, potentially gathering some ingredients there too, but highlighting, you know, South Carolina festivals, foodies. And again, you just get to witness these guys kind of riffing on each other.
we need someone to pass these out.
So, yes, ma'am.
What it,
Loud, please.
Get it, I'll pass,
I got
I'll pass
fried
it on.
shrimp
Let's
in my
get a
ear.
couple more on there.
I don't want them to get cold.
Well, I appreciate that concept, but you got to be careful giving people a venue to be able to express their opinions.
You mean like the two of you expressing your opinion?
Yeah, but we got a show.
I have a question.
we
So
have
what
one
made
that's
you all, and this isn't a softball question because it's set up, I'm right here, Jeff. I'll stand up. So what made you all feel like this was the right time to do a show like this that could have potentially been politically divisive? We've got a Democrat, we've got a Republican. You certainly have ideas that are not always of the same mindset. So what made this the right time to do a show like this?
Well, it was the right time in 2023 when we started this. It just took us a long time to get it on the air.
You weren't supposed to say that, Jeff.
Yeah, right. Well,
Hey, everybody's game.
So, but I think for me, this concept for me came about something like 6 years ago, and I think it was like finding the right collaborator, right partner, and also like what we talked about on stage is that like in this political environment, I think it's important to show the behind the scenes collaboration that you can have. And like, look, I mean, like Jeff and I don't agree on certain policy things, but what we have in common is that we both love this state and this country. And like it's now more than ever, I think we need it. And again, I think it's important to get feedback. I think it's a survey on the back of that. We'll encourage y'all to fill out the survey. We want to make the show really, really, really entertaining. That's important because we want to show a different way in which you can have conversations about politics, and we want it to be interesting. And I think also it's important for people to realize that, you know, it affects all parts of your life, like government and politics. So it's you got to figure out a way to be engaged. Now is important. We know civics in school is not what it once was. So now, if not now, then when? If not Jeff and I, then who? You know.
Yes. So for all of you that are nibbling, how is it? I just want you to know you took my sample. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It is good. You can smell the grits and all that. Imagine how I feel. I'm rather
Yeah, let's get one of those tongs right there, Jeff, and start like shrimping them up, and then put a little bit of pepper on top. There you go.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to keep the pepper on.
You want me to
What
touch
are you doing? 2
So these have
You're
all
doing
been
3 shrimp
fabulous questions.
or 10?
No, I'm actually doing one, Jeff. But you
I do want to ask you all about this. This is, a tough topic when it comes to food insecurity.
That is a tough one.
What are your thoughts about how we can improve that, not just in our state, but across the world, the region, all the places that are having issues with agricultural?
I've got a friend who does a match in his community. He tells people that any food that they bring to his community, I mean, he focuses on cereal, but if people in his business community, if they will buy cereal, he'll match whatever they're producing or whatever they bring in. I just thought that was a pretty cool concept.
Right. What are your thoughts?
And I think another thing, and again, I'm give a shout out to Jeff. I mean, he chairs the regulatory committee that also deals with AI and cybersecurity. I think technology is going to play a major part in addressing food insecurity. You know, the ability for people to get food in the more rural parts or places that the food deserts
food
like you're
deserts,
talking about.
right.
Now, we got to find a way to make it more affordable to do stuff like an Instacart or that kind of. There's a lot that we can do. That's right.
I'm actually, excuse me.
No, you're good.
I'm working with a local grocer on Hilton Head to build out, to use AI to look after food that, okay. So to avoid wasting food, we're trying to use AI to help manage that so we don't lose food, so we get more bang for those food dollars and the energy associated with that. I've been told that we lose 30% of the food that we create. And the production of food worldwide is one of the largest consumers of energy. So
And water.
and we lose 30% of that
My
right out of the
goodness.
chute. How many people don't have a sample of this?
I got.
I think I got enough. Sure.
What about grits?
I don't know if we have.
No, we got. Where's the? We need another. Yeah.
Another grit.
Another
Yeah,
grit,
no,
please.
so-
What is a
Towels.
grit?
Towels.
My movie reference folk. So, as we are still serving samples, I do want to make sure that as we get ready to wrap up shortly, that we thank SCETV and its crew.
Yeah,
I also,
absolutely.
yes,
Thank y'all.
I want to thank our streaming partners. Thank you all so much to be
You got
able
a message.
to stream tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank Keith Bogart, a producer with Zero Gravity. We've got Representative Jay Moore and Chairman Jeff Bradley. Once again, I am your host, Brittney Brackett, and we are thrilled to have you all here. Oh, thank you. Thank you. More samples are coming, but we just want to say that we appreciate you, our audience for SCETV. You can find so much more programming when you check us out on scetv.org. And, oh, she said, I do. Thank you. And thank you at home and everywhere, wherever you're watching. We appreciate you. Keep your eyes to our screens, and we'll bring you more programming like this and more. So, grateful for you.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming out. We really appreciate it. Come on up here and get some of this.
Well, we gotta wait on that.
Yeah, my cousin Vinny. What is
Here
a
come the
grit?
grits.
What is a grit?
What is a grit? Sticks to your bones, doesn't it?
Yeah, we can.
I used to have grits every Saturday morning. That was a big staple in my house with my parents. My mom was making breakfast. She would make 2 and 3 meats and grits and bacon, and I was like, oh, Lord, you talk about heaven. All right, back to my job.
We don't need these anymore, do we?
No, we just.
Well, we got them over here
Yep,
if we need them.
I got them.